What's up my loves? My name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and today we're going to be doing my July book haul revisited. Hello, so welcome to this video. If you're new to this series that I do on my channel, I go back and look over a book haul from 2020, which was the beginning of my channel, and talk through the books, whether I've read them, they're still sitting on my shelves unread, or if I've unhauled them and if they were read or unread when I unhauled them. I've taken this concept from Completely Melanie's Have I Read It Yet series, like this is basically her structure, and then I've stolen Ellie from Earl Grey Books' title for it because I like how it sounds. So always want to credit those two amazing people for my inspiration for doing this, and yeah, basically we'll just go through. You then vote on the book or books that you would like me to read. You can vote for as many as you would like, and I usually close the voting on the third Friday of the month, so I usually film my TBR on the Saturday. So I'll do it 3 weeks from when this is posted, which is the first Sunday of every month. So voting will close on the 23rd of June for the book to then go onto my July TBR. If I have more than 5 unread books left on my shelves, then I have to read 2, otherwise it is just the top most voted for, and if it goes up in increments, so between 1 and 5 it's 1 book, 6 to 10 is 2, so on and so forth. Last month we did have the 2, so yay! And I'm very apprehensive because the title of this video is 25 books in 10 minutes. I feel like a lot of these will be unhauled though, so let's see. I love that I was wearing my PJ shirt under my jumper.
And the first one I have is Black Beauty by Anna Sewell.
Black Beauty has been unhauled while still being unread.
The next one is Nimitsy by Wendy Orr.
Nimitsy, unhauled, not read.
The next one is Horse Crazy, The Complete Adventures of Bonnie and Sam by Alison Less.
Unhauled, unread.
Next is Pony Club Rivals Riding Star, so this
another horse book. Unread, unhauled.
9 in the How to Train Your Dragon series, and that is How to Steal a Dragon's Sword by Cressida Cowell.
Oh, I think I have unhauled that without reading it, just because I decided that I was happy to get them from my library, but I'm going to check my TBR. Yes, so unread, unhauled.
Next is The Secret Diary of Lizzie Bennet by Bernie Sue and Kate Roderick.
Unhauled, unread.
And the last one is The Girl Who Brought Mischief by Katrina Nanstad.
Unhauled whilst being unread. I love that I tried to justify that I was going to keep those.
The next stack are books that I've bought myself, and the first one is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl.
That edition, oh, it's definitely read, and I think I still have that edition, or I might have sent it to Jacqueline for her classroom library. So that particular edition is read and unhauled to my friend Jacqueline from Jaxie Jax Reads on Instagram. I got it because it was a special edition, but now I'm like, yeah, nah, I only want to collect Matilda.
Next I found in a bargain bin, and that is White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. I wouldn't have bought this full price in the store because I don't want to pass on my money. I feel like this has had a lot of criticism about it.
I love that I said that. So White Fragility is still unread. Surprise fucking surprise, because I don't go near non-fiction with a 20-foot pole. I have heard that like this was a slap in the face to people of colour because a white person was making money off a concept that really should have been talked about by them, and that this wasn't the best piece of literature to read if you want to educate yourself on White Fragility. I have since read Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People, and I feel like that was exceptional. So I'm still happy to read this. I haven't unhauled it because it was an op shop find, and I feel like there might be a point or two that might be something different, so feel free to vote for White Fragility in the comments if you would like me to read this. And this is our first book. It's the first book I think that I own still, so that will go just there. Continuing on,
Next 3 were for Readathons. So I bought William Shakespeare's 4 comedies, which has The Taming of the Shrew, A Midsummer's Night Dream, As You Like It, and Twelfth Night.
Alright, so the next is 4 Comedies by William Shakespeare. I have read The Taming of the Shrew for the Readathon, so I still have A Midsummer's Night's Dream, As You Like It, and Twelfth Night. So if you do want me to read this, please vote either for Comedies or Shakespeare, and I will be reading all 3 of the remaining plays that's going on, so a 3-in-1 if you will. Continuing on.
The next was for Detectathon, and that's the group book Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World by Ashley Herring-Blake.
Read and adored.
The final one was Gavin's Patreon book club read, and that is The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant.
I got blinded by the book cover. There's Court of Miracles, Unhauled, unread. I just lost interest. I heard not great things, so it's gone.
The next 3, I had a gift voucher from my birthday back in February, and so I decided to pick up some books, and the first one I picked up was My Sister the Serial Killer by Anya Khan-Brathwaite. My Sister the Serial Killer I have read and unhauled. I'm not sure where I sent it to, but I know it's in good hands. Then at Cara from Bianca Reads' recommendation, I got Girls Up and Thorn by Melissa Bashergast.
Hey! Girls Up and Thorn is read. This is, and still owned, like literally right there. This was reading with Merb's Bookish Peeps Control My Reading, their recommendation, because it was similar to Malice, and then it fit in with all these prompts and was just perfect when I read it, and I adored it. So done. Then one I was super hyped for is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. The Vanishing Half has been read and unhauled, so I really enjoyed it, but I just felt like it would be better in someone else's hands, considering I didn't wholeheartedly love it. It was a 4-star and I really do recommend it, but for me it just was like, yeah, I feel like this is more important to be out in the world. The final one that I bought myself was a pre-order, and that is Greek Myth, written by G. Mendes and illustrated by Katie Ponder. Greek Myth is just up there, and it is read. This was by G. Menzies, who is the booktuber Jean's Bookish Thoughts, and just oh, I forgot that that was something that I got then. I loved this and was very happy to have it in my collection. I have been wanting to pick up the other ones in the series just because I think they're a lot of fun and I enjoy mythology. So yeah, definitely read. My final stack is from April. She so kindly sent me another box of books. Basically, if she's like, do you want this? I'm not gonna say no. I have since learned to say no. Or at least a minimum. I have a few that I own paperback copies of, which I will be unhauling and replacing with the hardcovers because she didn't want the hardcovers, and I'm not going to say no. And yeah, so the first one was kind of funny, and that's Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I have read that and it is still on my shelves. Oh god, my old copy was so ugly. The next she sent me was The Vegetarian by Han Kang. The Vegetarian by Han Kang, unread. So if you would like me to read this, please vote The Vegetarian down below. I'm very curious about this. I have wanted to pick it up for ages, but like it's tiny, but I just haven't gone to it. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this. Aaron from Booked and Busy commented being like, this is a weird book. So I like weird, but is it going to be my kind of weird? I don't know. So if you want me to read it and find out what it's like, feel free to vote for it down below. That's on the pile. And continuing on. Will then did me a solid. I've never owned a copy and I've been umming and ahhing about getting it for ages, and I just couldn't decide what I wanted. And so she kindly gifted me her version of The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Ah! So Night Circus is read and still on my shelves because I adored it. That's brilliant. Next, because I want to read it as part of just reading classics, she sent me her copy of The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. So The Secret Garden has been unhauled whilst being unread because I just decided I didn't care about classics and making myself a classics lit chick when I've heard that it's utter trash. So it's gone. She kindly gifted me Echo Mountain by Lauren Woolk. Echo Mountain, I ended up unhauling this without reading it. I just saw that there were so many other things on my shelf that I wanted to get to, and it just didn't call to me. The only reason I picked it was because I had a dog on the cover and it was an Our Crate Junior book, so I thought it would be adorable, but then I just decided I have so many other things that interest me more, so this has been unhauled.
Then she kindly sent me the hardcovers of books that I already own, but I'm happy to unhaul and replace them with. So the first one is Inkheart by Cornelia Funk.
Hey! So that copy of Inkheart has actually been sent along to Crystal from Bon Book Reviews. They wanted, I think it was for a matching set for their editions. I had a matching set and I was going to collect them in the hardcovers, and then Crystal was talking about it. I was like, oh, I've got that, let me send it to you. And I hadn't unhauled my paperback versions of Inkheart. And whilst I don't really like the covers that I have, I'm happy that Crystal could have one of these. Crystal, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. It is read and unhauled because I've sent it on to a really loving home.
Then I will be unhauling the paperback version of The Bone Witch by Rin Chapeko.
Oh, so The Bone Witch by Rin Chapeko, I have not read this. It is part of my challenge for this year to read my Rainbow Shelf, but I've been apprehensive because it involves starting a new series, and I keep putting it off because it's a series starter and I can, yeah. But also challenge of reading my Rainbow, and I do want to complete this year, so I'm gonna have to do it anyway, but here we are. So if you would like me to read it, please vote for The Bone Witch in the comments, so I know that you're encouraging me to complete my challenge but also start a series. I really just need to prioritize then continuing on with it, but we know what I'm like. On the stack. Right, continuing on, we're nearing the end, so.
Then she sent me one of my new favourite series, and that is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb.
Ah! So Assassin's Apprentice has been read and unhauled because I ended up buying the illustrated editions, and I deeply regret my choices because they don't actually match. So they came scuffed and they also don't match. One is a flat binding, the other is a round. So I regret unhauling this because it's just a cool edition. I should have just kept it as well, and yeah, so that's that one. It doesn't hurt me at all to think about that.
And then the final book for this book haul is The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton.
Ooh! So The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, I have unhauled that without reading it. I've heard too many comments about fat phobia and it being not great, so I just decided I can get it from the library or Libby if I desperately want to, but I have other things that I would rather read instead. So I have unhauled the hardcover as well, as I just realized I didn't want to prioritize it. So, haha! I've got 4 books for you to vote for, and so that's that. I will only be picking the top most voted for book as I didn't go over my 5 book threshold, thank fuck. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what gets picked. I'm happy for any of these really. I've got ideas for any and all, so let's do it. That was definitely an interesting haul to reflect on. I definitely have gotten better with saying no to people's unhauls just because I was like, oh my god, it's a hardcover, oh my god, I can make my shelves aesthetic. My shelves are never going to be aesthetic, they're chaotic, and I love it, and so I'm okay with that. So I'm a lot better at just being like, yeah, maybe just like 2 rather than 10. And keeping my hauls to a slight minimum as well. Anyway, I'm surprised at the amount of shit that I just unhauled. I realized that buying that bulk set of books from Facebook Marketplace was not the right choice because they duped me and I didn't even get the book that I wanted. So I unhauled I think every single one of them. Buying different editions of things, I really just need to be smart about it. But you live and you learn. So let me know in the comments what you want me to read, and are you finding the series interesting? I'm definitely having a lot of fun just going over them and going, oh shit. Let me know down below, and if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!